Hey there everyone, this is Nick as founder and CEO at Hitgoc. So in previous video, we saw how we can use flex, justify content and div elements, div tags to basically align our text content, right? So we saw how we can create child elements, children elements, and how to create a parent element, right? Stuff like that. So in today's video we're gonna see something, you know we would be basically working with detailed concepts of flex, justify content, and the div tag, right? So we're gonna do something very deep, right, in details. So yeah, so let's first of all let's check our output. What was the output basically? Yeah, so okay, we have heading 1 and a paragraph, right? So let's do one thing. Let me just show you uh what if, oh, if I say that we listen, we got one component over here, like just one, this component is single component, and this is the another single component, right? This 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 paragraph, right? So what if I say I want to align two different components in the same div, right? So basically we have a div before this component renders, right? We have a parent div over here, and also we have a parent div with this heading tag, right? So yeah, here goes the div tag of the heading tag, and this one is for the paragraph tag, right? And other components we can remove them for a while. Okay, so what if I say I want two elements or more than two elements to be aligned specifically, not specifically, but aligned in some systematic way, right? So for that, let's just copy this, replicate this, right, and change its color to, let's say, green. Let's see the output now. Yeah, so basically we got two elements over here, this this one and this one. Okay, I want to introduce you guys with a new property called border, right? So border is basically it basically gives border to the text content or whatever the content is in that particular tag, right? So the syntax goes with the pixel of width, or yeah, how much width do you want of that border to be, right? Let's go with 1 pixel. And what type of line do you wish to render? So it could be solid, it could be dashed, it could be, I guess, dotted, right? So we'll go with solid for now. And let's the color, right? The third parameter has to be color. So let's go with I don't know, brown. Yeah, let's hit save. Right, so as you can see that this paragraph basically comes with a border, right? 1 pixel, which is 1 pixel wide. If I make it 5 pixel, then you can see the difference. So it's become thicker, right? So we'll go with 1 pixel, and we got some, yeah. So it's basically, yeah, it's a solid lined border, right? Let's remove the solid from here. We can go with dashed if one wants. So as you can see, it has become a bit dashed, right? Let me just increase the thickness. Yeah, so as you can see, it's become dashed, right? The border line has become the dash type. Cool. So we can also go with dotted. So it has become now dotted. So yeah, let's keep it solid for now, and the color brown. Cool. So basically why I put this border over here is because to let you guys see the margin of this component basically. So the margin starts from here, like from this portion till here, right? And we can do the same with this paragraph tag, right? And we can call it red, or okay, let's call it red or violet maybe. Yeah, cool. So now we got two paragraph tags with their respective borders, right? So yeah, this is something I wanted to show. Let me just remove this paragraph tag for a while. And yeah, so let me show you guys. This is basically just a single paragraph tag being rendered over here with a border, right? So what about this left space, right? This space left on the left side and on the right side. What about this? This is basically what we did in the previous video was we basically centered, we justified our content to the center of the flex, right? So let me just show you the border of the flex, right? So it's not the flex but border of the div tag basically, right? So let's copy our border property and save it here. Let's make it blue, right? Not blue, but let's make it red. Cool. So yeah, so this red border is basically the div tag, right? And as soon as we apply flex to it, it gives this div it generates a path for it basically generates a path on that div, right? Basically this path, what does this path means is as many children you got into this div tag, you have a path for each rendered children, right? Each rendered child. Basically you can move the component, um, any of the child component over this particular path, over this flex, right? So you can have it aligned left, center, right, or if there are more than two components, then you can justify the content center to the end, between, space between, space around, space evenly. That's what I'm gonna show you guys now, right now, just after a few minutes, few seconds precisely. Yeah. So yeah, so this is basically the your track, right? Let me just inspect it for a bit, and let me show you guys what actually happens over here. So yeah, this is the div which we are with which we are working on, right? This is the parent div of the paragraph tag, right? So basically it has got this flex, right? So all this the diagonally highlighted, I don't know what to call this, diagonally dashed highlighted area, something like that. So this area which is being highlighted with this red colored dashed line is basically the flex, right? So we can throughout this area, like over this area, whatever the child elements we have uh, into this element on which we have applied the flex, we can move, basically let this child element align, get aligned to the start, center, to the end, and wherever we want, right? So this is when we have single child component, right? So what if we got multiple child components? So let's copy this and hit paste, right? So and color, okay, border color, let it be green, right? Let's hit save. Okay, basically we have two child elements over here, right, occupying the full width. Like together they are occupying the full width of the div tag, right? uh yeah, so basically, so there is no basically there is no space left. So the in order to align these components in this div tag, right? So we have to make space, we have to create the space basically. So let's do one thing, let's shrink the width of this paragraph as well as this paragraph, right? So we had 50% before, let's keep it 35%, right? Well, let's say 25%, let's keep it to 25%. Let's reduce it to 25%, right? Both the widths, and hit save. Let's see the output. Okay, so here we got the paragraphs with width 25%. So now why are they just stuck together, right? They are just sticking together in the center of this div tag. Why is it happening? It's happening because, okay, let me just highlight you the flex. Yeah, so this is why is it happening. It's happening because we just have a look at this div tag. This div tag has got a property like display flex, of course, and with justify content, the content is basically centered, right? That's because we are seeing this paragraph 1, paragraph 2 at the center of the flex, right? So if we change this center thing to something called space evenly, justify content space evenly, let's see the output. Okay, cool. So now what okay, so now what's going on is on this flex, the children of this div element is basically evenly spaced. So here we got equal space, here we got equal space, here we got equal space. So 1, 2 and 3, these three spaces have equal pixel of width basically, if one must say, right? So this is how we can basically justify our content, right, over the on the flex, or on the, the path or the track generated by the parent element, right? So here parent element is this div, and the its children are basically this paragraph and this paragraph, right? So yeah, this is actually how the justify content property works with flex, right? So we have pretty more property to work on. Let's go with space around, hit save. Space around is basically, yeah, so space around, how space around works, let me just explain you this yeah. So basically you have to look to each component, right? So let's have a look at this component for a while, and let's imagine that this on the left side it has got around 100 200 pixel of width, right? Let's suppose 200 pixel of width is on its left side, right? And 200 pixels to the right. So here we got 200 pixels this much. So also here 200 pixels would be uh, till the center of this div. It has to be 200 pixels till we reach out to this center of the div, right? This border colored box. So yeah, let me just highlight you for highlight this for you guys, right? So 200 pixels over here, 200 pixels over here for this component, and also for this component 200 pixels over here, right? And 200 pixels over here. So it's basically, what it's doing is it's basically the space around each component is equal, right? The space around each component is equal. That's uh that's how that's possibly how I can explain this, right? So yeah, that's how this space around works. So we have something else called space between, right? So let's hit save, and yes, as you guys can see the difference, at the end of the flex and at the start of the flex, right, we have no space, 0% space, and all the space we have got is in between. So this is how space between works. All the components get apart end to end, and all the, like, the first component and the last component, like this is the first component over here, this is the last component of this div, right, in this div tag basically. So the first element would be aligned to the start of this flex, right, and the last element, which is element second, has to be aligned to the end of this flex, right? So what if we got one more element over here? What would be the output? So let's replicate this and hit paste, and let's make its color uh crimson coral. Let's go with coral. Hit save. So yeah, so this is how it works. First one, the first component, the last component, they are all fixed to the end of the flex, right? The component 1 to the start, component the last component to the end of the flex, of this flex, right? And other left components would be evenly spaced, right? So we got this middle component, this second component, it's equally spaced with the first component and the last component, right? So what if we copy this, paste it, paste one more over here with yellow green border, right? And okay, we I think we don't have enough space to get a space, right, to basically align the elements, to basically observe the changes in the alignment. So what we can do is let's shrink the width a bit more. Let's call it 5%. Right, so I'm gonna change 25% to width 5%. Cool. Let's hit save. Okay, so as you guys can see now, the width of each component is 5%, and as we are doing justify content space with between, so the first component and the last component is stick to the end of the flex, right, to the start and to the end respectively. But if we talk about the other middle and elements, the elements that are those are between in between the first and the last are being equally spaced, right? So this component is this component has equal space in the left as well as in the right, and the same goes with this as well, right? So this is how space between and space around works. So we can also try changing uh where is it? Yeah, space between, right? Let's check for space around as well. Yeah, okay, so exceptional thing is with space between only. All right. What else? What else we got over here? Last baseline. Okay, so this is last baseline. uh, I will explain these other properties maybe in the upcoming videos, or uh, maybe if you guys comment down me below that if you want a specific video over a specific property, then I would definitely make one video for it, right? So for now, let's these are space around, space between, and space evenly. These three properties are basically uh, important to justify the content, to basically align the content. So these are the vital properties. So that's, yeah. So I would suggest you guys to go uh, to practice these many properties only, just one, two, three. Rest are basically the center. Okay, yeah, yeah. This one is also important. The center one, right? So it basically centers all the components in the present div, right? So yeah, let's go with let's leave it to space evenly. Cool. Right. So that's pretty much about the paragraph tag, and the same we can do with the headings. Right. So let's copy this, replicate 4 times. Cool. And as the width of each component is much smaller, right? So we can observe the changes in the alignment. So let's just remove this center thing and keep it space between. Let's go with space between for a while, right? So yeah, first and the last is stick to the endpoints, right, of this flex. Yeah, and other components are being equally spaced. Okay, cool. So let's leave it to space evenly. So yeah, that's pretty much about this video, and I have explained it how to use the flex with justify content, space evenly, space around, space between, and center. Right. So that's pretty much about this stuff, the flex and justify content stuff. It basically plays a very vital role in web development to basically align the components, right, to basically align the items. So make sure you guys practice this, right? And if you guys have any doubt, just feel free to ask me, just pin me down to Instagram or so any social handle, or can comment down below as per your wish, right? So all right, thanks for watching. Peace out. See you in the next upcoming videos.